Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
2 people are now in jail following a bloody domestic dispute in Jamestown. It happened last night around 10 when police were dispatched to an alley for reports of gunshots being fired. The caller says a female made threats to kill a man and then gunshots rang out. When officers arrived, they detained 33-year-old Jeremy Ray Mark and 32-year-old Crystal Lynn Berglund. Following a search of the vehicle, police found a firearm, ammunition, a spent shell casing, and a metal blunt object used during the altercation. Both individuals were arrested, and this incident remains under investigation. We now know the name of the man who died following a lawnmower accident. Officials say the male has been identified as 35-year-old Brandon Posh of rural Hawley. It happened Tuesday around 2 when emergency crews were dispatched to rural Hawley for a report of a lawnmower accident. When emergency crews arrived on scene, they found Posh laying in a ditch with a lawnmower on top of him. Posh was pronounced dead on scene. Well, it feels like this is the kind of weather you can enjoy by the poolside. Now let's check in with meteorologist Nathan Hopper.
You are exactly right. This is the perfect kind of pool weather for us. Look at this Devil's Lake, home of Economy Sky Cam, seeing plenty of sunshine there. Just a few clouds on the horizon. A little bit of a breeze there. You can see that camera wobbling just a little bit, but look at that. Plenty of blue sky there in the Devil's Lake area to get us started for this Thursday afternoon. Now 2 minutes past noon, so it is technically, yes, afternoon. Yeah, look at those clouds though. So you can see it from the Devil's Lake Sky Cam. Those are the clouds on the horizon we saw there. And those are still affecting areas like Grand Forks, Fargo, off toward Thief River Falls. And so Bemidji, sunny now, but I'm seeing some clouds moving in. The good news is not seeing much in the way of any rainfall with these, but we can take a closer look and see we are getting some light radar returns near the Mayville area. I haven't seen any surface observations yet of any rain falling in that area. So I think it's just those clouds that we're seeing at this point wafting through the area this afternoon. We are seeing, though, some showers just west of our viewing area, just west of Edgeley, west of Ellendale. You can see those are just splash and dash, isolated in nature, and those temperatures are toasty. As you're saying, Brian, pool temperatures, yep, upper 70s, lower 80s, and humid. So, of course, we'll talk about what we can expect for the rest of the day coming up in a couple minutes.
Let's definitely enjoy the pool while we can. Thanks again, Nathan. Authorities in Grand Forks are now ruling the residential structure fire that occurred Wednesday afternoon as accidental. The fire was caused by improper disposal of a cigarette. The cigarette ignited combustible mulch. The burning mulch ignited vinyl house siding. The fire then traveled up the side of the house into the attic space and was intensified by a strong wind. Well, more than 350 known wildfires are burning across the state of California. CAL FIRE is calling these major groupings fire complexes. Thousands of homes and businesses have already been destroyed and whole towns have been forced to evacuate. NBC's Miguel Almaguer has the latest.
Overnight, another onslaught from an ever-expanding inferno. In Vacaville, the western edge of this city of 100,000 forced to evacuate. Firefighters who are losing ground to these relentless flames now fear the worst.
I have 2 confirmed burn patients. We're still searching the area for a potential additional 5.
A full-fledged air attack in a desperate race to save homes and lives. As flames rip across hillsides, highways have become treacherous escape routes.
Worst fire I've ever been through. We've been through a lot of fires.
Many of the fires exploding with no warning, leaving residents little time to escape.
The fire is burning so erratically in some areas, crews can't even get to homes. This one will be a total loss.
Hit by more than 10,000 lightning strikes in 3 days during a brutal heat wave, California is in a state of emergency.
We are experiencing fires, the likes of which we haven't seen in many, many years.
Fires are raging over a 100-mile stretch from Napa's wine country to the Santa Cruz Mountains, the San Francisco Bay Area smothered by some of the worst air quality on the planet.
There's reported pictures of embers actually falling the size of like a chocolate chip cookie being basically thrown 10 miles out in front of this, causing spot fires.
In Southern California, similar conditions. Iconic Joshua trees ablaze in the high desert. Firefighters being pushed to their limits, now dealing with the loss of one of their own. a fatal chopper crash on the front lines, which sparked another fire.
Most of the fire that the crash site caused has burned into the Hills fire. And it is still dangerous for rescuers to get up there.
Officials say there is devastation, losses to lives and property with no relief in sight. Let's take a look at the COVID-19 numbers. In Minnesota, the Department of Health is reporting another 698 confirmed cases of COVID-19, along with 7 new deaths linked to the illness. In total, 1,745 deaths have been attributed to the disease, while over 60,000 people are listed as recovered. In North Dakota, there are 274 new cases in the state. The death toll remains at 130, and the active case count is up to 1,394. Well, American Airlines has identified some of the flight it intends to cut. That tops our look at consumer news. The airline says it will cut flights to 15 smaller U.S. cities when federal aid runs out at the end of September. American will stop flying to Del Rio, Texas, Florence, South Carolina, and Roswell, New Mexico, to name a few. The 15 cities named may not be all the cuts to come. And last week, an executive told CNBC American could cut flights to 30 cities. Well, the number of Americans filing for first-time unemployment benefits ticked up last week, pushing the number of applications back over the 1 million mark. More than 1.1 million Americans applied for first-time unemployment benefits. Continuing claims, or the number of people who have claimed benefits for 2 or more weeks in a row, dropped to just under 15 million. All of this comes as small businesses that have run out of stimulus funds are starting to disappear. The fragile economy is looking to Washington for a new stimulus, but lawmakers appear to be deadlocked. History is made at the Democratic National Convention as Kamala Harris accepts the Democratic nomination for vice president. The California senator stepped into the spotlight on night 3 of the DNC and into the history books as the first Black and first Asian American woman to accept the major party's vice presidential nomination. Harris spoke live from the Chase Center in Wilmington, Delaware, telling her story and making the case for a Joe Biden presidency. Well, coming up at noon, we take a look at the group of people who have been directly affected by wearing a face mask. And will the weather still feel warm throughout the day? Weather up next to Also Plan Your Day.